But the debate has also focused on how to grow the US economy. Away from the campaign trail, many Americans, don't forget this, we talk about, Theresa May very much in her speech talking about people here who are working and still struggling to get by, but many Americans are struggling to make ends meet. Well, just half an hour from St. Louis, the site of that debate, is a food bank. We hear about them here, but what about them in America? 5 Live's Rowan Bridge went there to find out how those outside of the political bubble view the election campaign.
The Ritenour Co-Care food pantry is half an hour's drive from the leafy campus of Washington University, where this week's debate was held. It might only be a short distance, but it's a journey into another world. Crammed into an office space at the back of a row of nondescript shops, this food bank aims to help the hungry of St. Louis.
And they choose their food according to how many's in their family.
Reverend Marcia Brown is the executive director of the pantry. The place has the feel of a branch of Aldi, though the low ceilings and cramped space make it a much tighter fit.
And then over here we have small packaged sweets, which can be used for lunches and things. We've had folks that come in. I remember a mom one time that was in tears when she came to these sweets, and we said, "What's wrong?" And she said, "My children have something for their snacks at school now."
It's Monday evening and there's a constant stream of people coming through the door, all struggling to make ends meet.
People are really hungry. The food stamps have been cut in the U.S. recently, and we get a lot of people that say that since their food stamps have been cut, they're even in more dire straits, and they're desperately hungry. Sometimes they call before their next appointment saying they don't have any food. And then our waiting list is about 200 people, despite the 200 to 2,000 that we're feeding a month.
For these people, the debate and the candidates are a long way from their reality. Many didn't want to speak, but one agreed to, as long as we didn't use her name.
First of all, it started off as just me, and then my brother got out of prison, and he started living with me. Took him a while to find a job, and on my salary, it's hard to feed the two of us. And then we took in yet another friend who was on hard times, and now there's 5 of us, and it makes it hard on my salary to feed 5 people.
We're in presidential election season. How relevant does the presidential election campaign feel to your life, to you?
Not at all. I don't feel like either candidate has any idea of what goes on a day-to-day basis for people who are working poor. I don't think they can have a clue. Somebody who can make $10 million just touring around talking for a year, I don't think she can relate to the fact that I can barely put food on the table for 5 people in one house.
And what about Donald Trump?
I don't know if you want me to get started on that one. I don't believe he's in touch with reality in any form.
I'm Ron Bickerstaff. I do all the scheduling. I'm very blessed to talk to almost every person that comes in here to get food. The folks that come in here to the pantry, they're living from, a majority of them are living from crisis to crisis. They're living in the moment. And I haven't had one discussion with anybody that came in here today or last week or the week before about politics.
Do you think the people who come here are going to vote in this election?
I hope so. I hope they vote. And we even talked about having voter registration here. I converse with people when I schedule folks. I say, well, so this is good. You're coming in on election day. Are you going to vote? And 2 or 3 of them said, oh, I work the polls every year. Good for you. Yes, I'm voting. So I don't say who to vote for. I just say vote.
As we said our goodbyes, more people came in to get help making ends meet. The election may only be 4 weeks away, but it feels like a long, long way from here.